Listen, I won't go on about it, but if you haven't seen this movie, The Odyssey, you got to see it. It's based on the Greek poem by Homer, and it is one of my favorite works of literature in ancient times. The movie, I think Christopher Nolan did an excellent job. He really grounded the supernatural with the principles that were in the film, and I think it's something worth watching. Despite what people think about casting hires and things like that, that's neither here nor there for me. But one of the things in the movie that stood out to me that I want to parallel with Christian scripture is the law of Zeus. I believe XENIA is what they call it. This is an ancient principle, and it's pretty much the principle of hospitality to a stranger. So before you know anybody's name or their occupation, that if a stranger comes into your home, that you are to feed them, clothe them, bathe them, be hospitable, right? And the reason they got this is because we know in Greek mythology that Zeus was always trying to come down in human form, whether it was to sleep with women, whether it was just to test humanity's kindness. But ultimately, this law was created so that people are always mindful of the fact that you never know who you are serving. So be careful how you treat people. This parallels scripture. Hebrews 13:2 says, "Be not forgetful to be hospitable," or to show hospitality, because some have entertained angels unawarely. In other words, the scripture is saying, once again, like the law of Zeus, to be careful how you treat people, because there have been in times past, the writer of Hebrews understands this, Abraham, the messengers coming, the commander of the Lord standing before Joshua, all these theophanies, as they call it in the theological realm, God coming in the form of angels or men, that you may be entertaining someone that has a message for you, that has a blessing for you. And thirdly, it's the right thing to do. Now, of course, it is hard to apply this principle in today's world because there's so much manipulation and perversion and deception in the world that it's hard to trust when somebody comes to your house that they're not going to take your life or the life of your family members just to rob you from what you have, or because they're just crazy. But it's something that we must be mindful of, that when we can be kind to others. Jesus understood this because he said the poor will always be with you. And what this is that Jesus's goal was never for anyone to be poor, but people make bad decisions at times that puts them in bad spots. And guess what? At some point in your life, you're going to be in a bad spot. So the principle is pretty much telling us, learn to be hospitable to people that may be lower than you, or you may feel lower than you, because you never know when it's going to come a time where you're going to need that same kindness.